Hi, it's Jane, and I'm live. I'm going to tell you my story about how I became a psychic and medium myself. I wasn't born with this, or well, maybe I was. When I was a baby, I came in and then I grew up. And what I want to say is my family took me on a lot of family vacations, and I loved growing up with my family. But I didn't really think I had any of this. But then when I was 5 years old, I looked at the wallpaper and it started to come, faces started to come in. And I started to see faces and I just suppressed it and didn't think anything of it. And then the movie came out, The Exorcist, and I got really, really scared when I was about 10 or 13 years old. I don't remember the age, but I had to go sleep in my mother's room. So I was scared of my own power, actually, my gifts. Then, but I didn't have anybody to support it because I was raised in a Catholic grade school. So I had a nun, though, who was my favorite school teacher. Was this nun that stood over me, and she yelled at me and she said, "You're a brazen hussy," because I was throwing notes in the class. So she impacted me to think bad about myself. But now I feel like she's my favorite school teacher because why? Because I learned a huge lesson from her, not to let something that I did make me wilt in fear of somebody who feels like she's of authority and more powerful than me. Um, as I was putting the thumbnail picture on, the thumbnail that you can see, which is the picture of the live video before it started, I held up this disc. Can you see in the photo after it's done that there was a little girl that came into it in spirit because she was in here? So she was in this cosmic disc that I have. I started to realize that I had a connection with the spirit world at around age 39. I had a near-death experience where I was in an ambulance and I saw an angel and she was in the corner of the ambulance and she was saying things to me. Patience is a virtue, in God we trust, the penny, and how a reminder that I'm around you. When you look on the ground, you'll see a reminder that I'm around you. She said not to trust doctors. They were doing the wrong thing with me because I have a rare gene mutation where doctors can't figure out why I can't take medications. I'm allergic to a lot of foods. I have food allergies, food sensitivities. I'm very sensitive. I'm so sensitive that if I wear some deodorant from the vitamin shop, I get a rash. In fact, that's what I have right now, is this rash from this rose stuff that it's supposed to be good for me. So I'm telling you my story of how fragile and sensitive I became then and later in life. I am the age I am now, which I'm not going to tell you my age. I'm not going to disclose it, but to tell you the truth, I look way older than I actually am. So I started to, I lost my spleen in a car accident, though. That was one thing. I was drinking alcohol, I was drunk, and I gave my boyfriend the keys to my car and I said, "Here, you drive. I'm too drunk to drive." Well, lo and behold, he was drunker than me. So he left to center, went to pass somebody, and hit somebody head on. So that was it for me. I lost that spleen. And then I became sober. So I recovered from drinking, like binge drinking. So I can state that I'm a person in recovery. And that's talking about emotional recovery, using alcohol as a crutch to block my gifts or power within myself because I was afraid of my own power. Because I'm little 5'1" Janie, that maybe I was brought up in a family that I was probably like the lowest on the totem pole as far as brains. I thought was, I didn't get good grades in school. I did get A's in the classes I liked, but I got D's and F's in like history, math, things I was bad at. I was probably scattered, disorganized as a child. So my mom kind of, she brought me for counseling and stuff, had a little trouble with me. But my story is that when I had the near-death experience with the angel, that's what kind of led me to the spiritual path of trying to become a psychic and medium. I started to think, hey, what was that in the ambulance that I didn't know is there? It was a person standing there, but she wasn't really there. And then she disappeared. I mean, she was there in plain skin color is what I'm saying. And she was a Black female. And I started thinking maybe there was more to this earthly existence because I grew up thinking none of this existed. I didn't even believe in psychics. I thought they were all scam artists. I thought they had statues outside of their house, like the dwarfs. I thought they were weird, mysterious. But then I started to get like a connection with it and a passion for it. I bought a small deck of cards. I started reading it for friends and family. And then I noticed, lo and behold, I was accurate on some things in the cards, in the tarot cards. I then decided to get in some Native American circles and I went on some vision quests. And I was in the woods without food or water fasting one time on a Native American vision quest. And all of a sudden, some orbs, some huge lights came over across the trees, 3 of them. I was scared shitless. So I put my hat down over my eyes and I just watched the orbs and I'm like, what are they going to do to me? And then they were floating across the river all night in like a figure 8, kind of like watching over me and just watching and observing what I was doing. So I never to this day really knew what those orbs were, but I believe they were some kind of unidentified flying object of some kind or something spiritual. So that's kind of like what changed me even more was my vision quest. So then I decided to do readings and set up shop. I worked in a little local bookstore, started to do some readings, was very scared, but I was accurate, and I was telling people things that was accurate, and I realized, oh my God, I'm so powerful here as a psychic and medium, so I'm going to keep on this path. So then the shop closed down because she decided to sell it, and I decided to just work in my own, out of my home, and then I developed an office space, and I was doing like 8 readings a day, parties up the yin yang every single weekend. I burnt myself out. I was exhausted because I was channeling so many spirits. I was like, oh my God, I got sick. And I had to watch it because I don't have a spleen. So then came the healing path. Okay, so the healing path, I've still been doing readings for all my clients, thousands of people for 17 years, but I had to work on my own inner healing too because I had to heal the emotions that I had in the first place. So, I was brought up as a Catholic girl in a grade school of Catholics, and, my parents didn't support me as having these psychic gifts, and, even my family, like, they didn't question, was she psychic? No, because I suppressed it, and I learned it later. I brought it out because we can all bring it out. How can you be psychic yourself? Meditate, eat the right diet, don't drink tap water with fluoride in it. Eat healthy foods, exercise, but meditate, and I do give classes of how to tap into your psychic abilities yourself. My friend Jessica from October, she made me this logo. It says Psychic Jane. This is my mask. I'm putting my mask on for all Black Lives Matter today. Not all lives matter, Black Lives Matter. Sorry. And she made this wonderful mask for me. You can go to my website, Psychic Jane, to find out more about me. Questions that I want to throw at you guys, because I saw Evan Carmichael this morning. I loved it, Evan Carmichael is amazing to me. He's been a teacher helping me on YouTube to be better. The questions were, what is your teacher, what was your favorite teacher growing up? Write this down. What was your favorite movie? Mine is Castaway with Tom Hanks. Love that movie. What do you love most about your parents? Write that down. Let's see. What successful person would you like to hang with? And what successful person do you look up to? Well, right now I look up to Evan Carmichael, but I've also look up to Tom Holland because I met him. He's Spider-Man. And I also look up to Ashton Kutcher because I got to meet him over text and talk to him over text. So I look up to those 3 people right now, but I look up to a lot of people. What lessons do you want your kids to have? What lessons do you want your kids to have? I want my kids to have what I have, which is just joy and not feeling bad about myself that I might seem strange to somebody else. So I want my kids to love themselves completely. That's the most thing I want my kids to have. So my answers were, favorite teacher growing up was definitely Sister St. George because she called me a brazen hussy. Favorite movie, Sister St. George gave me a drive within myself, let's put it that way, to not be the brazen hussy that she called me. Or be brazen, right? Be brazen. Yeah, so Sister St. George was my favorite teacher because she left a mental impact. And then favorite movie was what um, is Tom Hanks, because he was stuck on a desert island and he learned how to feed himself, create fire, all that stuff. He learned to survive for a really long time, suffering and alone, which is kind of my story. I grew up suffering a lot. I mean, when I was older after my car wreck, and I lost my spleen. I suffered silently for years. People didn't even know how much I suffered. I didn't tell people. So favorite movie, Castaway. Again, going back, love most about your parents, and also what do you love most about your parents? But mine was vacations. Did I leave that one out? My parents brought me on so many nice vacations. That's what I love most about my parents growing up. It was so fun. I mean, I love my parents in so many ways, but that was the thing I loved most, is they taught me how to see the world. They taught me how to love travel, which can be hard because when you don't have money, you can't travel and then you feel suppressed. Um, so the most successful person that I like the most and that I look up to, well, right now I'm looking up to Evan Carmichael because he's teaching me how to do better YouTube videos. And I'm going to learn how to do the thumbnails and all that. So you guys can follow him if you want. I also look up to Ashton Kutcher. I look up to, because I got to talk to Ashton Kutcher by text, and I look up to Tom Holland because I met him in a movie set. I was in the restaurant scene of the movie Cherry, which didn't come out yet at the theater. But I was in a room with a $6 million male that's young, and he figured out how to do it, right? He figured out how to jump through the hoops in life and make himself worth $6 million. So I did a brain exchange with him. He looked at me and smiled. I looked at him and smiled. He liked my energy. That's all. So what else? Let's see. I developed a TV show. I have my own TV show called Honor the Magic Within. Telling you my story. And then, so I'm telling you my struggle, and then I'm telling you my mission is to, by my struggle, I became enlightened and saw spirits. And now my mission is to help people connect with their loved ones on the other side and cross over or get a psychic message for them. So that's how I help people. How did I go through a transformation of myself? Exercise, eating raw vegan diet, juicing every day, transforming, being smarter because I meditated daily, sitting in silence, holding crystals. How did I transform myself? Holding crystals, doing a vision quest, listening to people, really listening to people. Yes, I grew up in Lakewood. Yes. How did you know? Sister St. George? I went to St. Clement's grade school. I see somebody on here asked what if I grew up in Lakewood. Yes, I grew up on Onondaga off of St. Charles. You know what that is? Carol? Who are you? Do I know you? Oh my God, yes, she says. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, yes. Well, nice to meet you. I'd shake your hand, but social distancing, and thanks for listening to my story. So, hang with big names is what I just learned today from Evan. Be their best contributor, meaning be people's contributor. Contribute to people. Oh, you lived across the street from me? Wait a minute. Carol, we lived across the street. You lived across the street from me? Tell me, please, type it in. I gotta know. We have to heal ourselves first before we heal the world, right? We want to heal the world, right? We want to get this cosmic thing, whatever's going on, to stop the violence, the riots, the coronavirus, everything. But we have to work on our silent healing. That's what Spirit told me. Oh my God, yeah, Jeannie is my sister. Well, where did you live? What street? What house? I was 1614 Onondaga. Jim, yeah, Jim's my brother. Carol, what's your last name? What's your maiden name, Carol? Are you Murray? Are you Isley? Are you, I know the Whitakers lived right across the street from me. That's why I can't figure out where you lived. Okay, so I'm going to keep talking about my story here because I have to wrap this up and talk about my story. But do not get wrapped up in illusion of what our world is going through right now. That's the message. Oh, you live next to the Murrays. Okay. Okay, so you lived closer to St. Charles part or on Leaves moved. So we moved to Avon Lake then. So that's why I live in Avon Lake now. Well, nice to meet you, Carol. Nice to meet you. You'll have to come out for a reading sometime. Come join me. This is what I do now. I didn't do any of that when I was in Lakewood, going to Lakewood High School and everything. So I draw for people like when I do a channeled message. See the house right here? This was a reading today that I did. And I did it over the phone, a phone reading for her. And she, it showed me in a vision that I had a house. I saw a house in a vision in my third eye. And then I saw a river running in front of the house. And I told her that I saw that vision. She's like, oh my God. And I told her that her mother in spirit is showing me this vision. Well, she said, she confirmed, yes, her mother passed and she had a huge flood in her house. So that's why I saw the vision like that. Like their vision was the river coming through her house. And then they show me a pink door. Well, she's trying to sell her house right now. So I told her to put like something bright, paint her door bright because people are attracted to the brightness of the front door. And I said, don't tell people that you're in a flood zone because your mother told me not to tell people that. Just let them find out for themselves. You know, unfortunately, that's how it goes in our world sometimes when we're trying to sell a house. So that's an example of my readings. I get a vision right away for the people. And then I run off of that. And I usually link into the connection of the spirit of the family member who have passed or somebody very connected close to them who has passed. They help me with the reading. I've been on stage at Pickwick and Frolic, downtown in East 4th Street in Cleveland as a psychic medium, kind of like Long Island medium, Teresa Caputo. I just go on in front of audiences and I channel now as a medium. I've worked hard on myself. I'm sober for over 25 years. I'm in recovery all the time. I'm still recovering because I never will be all the way up to, well, let's put it this way. I lost my spleen, in a car accident. And that was stupid over drinking and driving. So, how do we remove the emotional blocks to make ourselves succeed better in the world? That's what I want to help you with also, all of you who are watching. I know you came on for me to answer your questions today, and I appreciate you all being here. But I definitely was inspired by Evan Carmichael today to tell you my story. Please follow Evan Carmichael on YouTube. He's already got thousands of subscribers, but here's what I want to ask you. Can you please hit the subscribe button when you're watching my video? Because I'm trying to beef up my subscribers so that I can get more subscribers. You can find my website under the logo, w.psychicjane.com. Here it is in reverse. I'm Psychic Jane. And that's my mask for Black Lives Matter because it's black. And I'm a little scattered, yes, because I had lots of coffee this morning. But I really thank you all for joining me today. Roar, I see you're here. Carolyn, I see you're here. I already said hi to you. Cindy Ramirez, thank you for being here. She's definitely in need of a reading. Are you still doing them for public? Yeah, I am. It's just not on this live video today. I'm not because I'm telling my story. I live in Louisiana, but Florida is my home. I go down every summer. Vero Beach, Florida. Awesome. Awesome. Andrew Larson started out being here right away. He comes on like that. I love you, Andrew. Thank you. Detroit Killa. Hi. Detroit Killa. Your name. Boy. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Detroit, Michigan, though. Awesome. Awesome. Love Detroit, Michigan. I am, I've been channeling. I don't like to give too much things power in the negatives that are going on in our world. I feel like we need to not give things too much power. So I know that I watched Lisa Williams. She's a famous psychic and she reads for the Kardashians. And she said she'll never give world stuff power. She doesn't talk about it. So I decided not to talk about world stuff anymore because I was doing some George Floyd videos and things like that. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't just give all this power because that's what we're doing right now. We're giving it so much power that it's becoming hate more. But, it's like I understand why people have to do the protests and stuff. I understand. It's going to get us somewhere, by the way. World prediction for me is that, now that I contradicted myself, that I wasn't going to talk about the world, is that our world is going to end up being more enlightened and closer to Creator and more spiritual because of all this, because everybody's going to be scared. So the coronavirus was huge, and now this is huge to change and help Black lives even more, because it's like it was building and building and building for so long that this shit has been happening in our world, and especially in the United States, maybe even other countries. But, you know, racism has got to stop. So that's all I want to say on that subject. Okay, so I'm going to, I think I said all the pointers that I got from Evan Carmichael. Talk about the struggle, talk about my mission, and talk about how I transformed myself. I did the 3 things he taught me how to do. Oh, do scary things. Well, that's like my TV show is scary, and that I'm YouTube in front of all you people, you know, hopefully millions someday, if I get 1 million people to watch my video, which would be awesome at my age, because I am. Oh, you know what's scary is telling you guys my age. I'm 60, okay? That's scary for me, because you're not supposed to, even if like you're an actor and you want to get in television commercials, which I do to make some extra money, I'm not supposed to tell them my age, but I just did it. I just spilled the beans. So, but you know, my story is that I do look pretty good for 60, right? So follow the things I do, which is click the link below, and you'll find out more. You'll get an extension on your reading. I'll give you my email address. It's ladybutterfly1059. If you contact me through my ladybutterfly1059 at yahoo.com, I'll write it down for you guys. Type it in. Ladybutterfly1059 at Yahoo. I was named in a Native American ceremony, and that's why I have my name, Lady Butterfly. And while I was being named by a Choctaw Ojibwe elder named Rainbow Eagle, 2 yellow butterflies flew over my head magically. And there was the confirmation from the universe that my name was supposed to be Lady Butterfly. So isn't that an amazing story? How that happens? How do we transform other people and help other people's lives daily? 1, just being kind and helping people and saying hi to everyone and smiling, saying hello. Even if they don't say hello back. I always grew up, even as a kid, would say hi to everybody on the streets when I was walking. Maybe they didn't say hi back. I didn't care. At least I did my part in saying hello. So how can we do our part in helping the world get better? Say hello to people. Care about the homeless. Go down and feed them, but don't videotape it. I'm going to pull 1 card for us today for all of you who are viewing. I'm going to pull 1 card. Spirit. Isn't that wonderful? I just got this new deck of cards free from the universe magically. I went over to my son's last night. He's like, oh, I forgot to show you, Mom. I've had these for a whole year, this deck of cards. I got them from, they got delivered accidentally to my apartment. And he said he thought they were from Etsy. Beautiful, amazing cards. Love these. For the person who ordered them, I'm really sorry, but they were supposed to come to me as a gift, because when you start doing card readings for other people, your tarot cards or whatever are supposed to come to you as a gift. You're not supposed to go out and buy them for yourself. So isn't that cool? These are very vulnerable, beautiful cards. Actually, I pulled this one for myself last night. It's vulnerable. And that's how we are in the world right now. We're all kind of vulnerable. We feel vulnerable. We're vulnerable because we go to the store and we have to wear masks and it's hard to breathe. And then, we're afraid that we're going to get the coronavirus, and then we go out and now we're afraid that the National Guard's going to come in our city. And, there's just so many things. It's like right now, but what I can offer myself to the world is just peace, joy, happiness. Help your vibration to lift it up higher a notch. Hold your crystals. Tap with your crystals on your heart chakra. Meditate. Eat the right diet. Eat lots of foods, healthy greens. Thanks, Beats by Jay, for being back again. Hey, glad you're here, honey. Hope your music's going well. I'm getting to know my audience here personally. I love all of you for joining me. Cindy Ramirez, she lives in Louisiana. I'm going to be going to Honduras in February, and I'm going to be going to Costa Rica next year, if the cruise ships are still cruising. So hopefully they will be by then. Make your plans. Trust that the world is going to get better. And just hold on. Hold on. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this roller coaster of life, this emotional roller coaster that everybody's been going through. We're going to get through it. Try not to stay stuck on your cell phone too much and be on the Facebook either. It'll drain your energy totally. I mean, it's great, Facebook and all that, but so here I am trying to tell you guys that, and then I see a text, somebody texted me on Facebook, and I want to engage in that. See how it pulls you in. Okay, guys, I love you all. Thanks for watching my story. I think I said everything that Evan Carmichael told me to say today in his class that I took the training class of how to have better YouTube videos and how to tell my story as a psychic medium. Okay, love you all. Talk to you later. Thanks so much for watching. I will be answering your questions live tomorrow.